Hello everyone and welcome to the Young and the Restless channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The chaos that's about to unfold in Las Vegas is anything but ordinary, and at the center of it all stands Matt Clark, spiraling deeper into a dangerous obsession that shows no signs of slowing down. What began as a calculated plan for revenge is quickly mutating into something far more volatile, something unhinged and terrifying in its execution. Matt isn't just playing games anymore, he's orchestrating a psychological trap, one that pulls his victims in with precision and cold intent. Having stolen Nick Newman's phone, Matt steps into his identity with chilling ease, crafting a deception so convincing that it draws Sharon Newman and Noah Newman straight into his web. Under the illusion that they are heading to Las Vegas to witness Nick finally bring Matt to justice, Sharon and Noah unknowingly walk toward a nightmare that Matt has meticulously prepared just for them. And as the week of April 20th through the 24th looms closer, it becomes painfully clear that Matt is only just beginning to unleash the full extent of his twisted plan. The lights of Sin City glow brightly as Sharon and Noah arrive, but there's an uneasiness that lingers beneath the surface, an unshakable tension that seems to follow them from the moment they step foot in Vegas. Acting on the instructions they believe came from Nick, they make their way toward a specific address, trusting that they're heading into a situation where justice will finally be served. But as their car rolls into the location, the atmosphere shifts in an instant and the illusion begins to crack. The destination isn't what they expected, not even close. Instead of a controlled environment or a place of confrontation, they find themselves staring at an abandoned gas station, isolated and eerily silent, as though it's been forgotten by time itself. The wind seems to whisper through the empty structure, and the stillness presses in on them, heavy and suffocating, triggering an immediate sense of dread that neither of them can ignore. They hesitate, their instincts clashing with the instructions that brought them there, and for a moment, the weight of the decision hangs between them. Every warning sign is screaming at them to turn around, to get back in the car and leave this unsettling place behind, but doubt creeps in just as quickly as fear. What if this really is where Nick is waiting? What if walking away means abandoning him in a moment of need? The uncertainty gnaws at them, pulling them closer to the edge of a decision that could change everything. Sharon, desperate for reassurance, reaches out again, texting Nick's phone in search of confirmation, hoping for anything that will make sense of the situation. And when the response comes, it feels just convincing enough to tip the balance. Nick urges them to come inside, claiming that Matt has already been captured and is being held within the building. It's the reassurance they needed, but beneath the surface, it's nothing more than another layer of Matt's carefully crafted lie. With every step they take toward the entrance, the tension tightens, wrapping around them like a vice. Matt is watching, waiting, ensuring that every piece falls into place exactly as he intended. His goal is clear: lure them inside, isolate them, and trap them in a situation they can't escape. And once they cross that threshold, the danger becomes undeniable. There are whispers of something far worse lurking within the abandoned structure, something that transforms this from a simple ambush into a potentially catastrophic event. Behind the scenes, all signs point to a devastating explosion waiting to erupt, a destructive climax that fits perfectly with Matt's increasingly reckless behavior. The idea of using an abandoned gas station as the stage for such destruction isn't just plausible, it's disturbingly fitting given the volatility of fuel and the isolation of the location. As Sharon and Noah begin to explore the interior, the fear intensifies, settling deep into their bones as the reality of their situation slowly dawns on them. The building feels wrong, every shadow stretching a little too far, every sound echoing a little too loudly. And then comes the possibility that changes everything, the discovery of something ticking, something counting down, something that signals the terrifying truth that they've walked straight into a trap designed to end in flames. Whether it's a planted explosive device already in motion or a more primitive but equally deadly plan involving fuel and fire, the outcome remains the same: devastation. Panic threatens to take over as the seconds slip away and the realization hits them with full force. They may not make it out alive. The fear of an imminent blast hangs in the air, thick and suffocating, as every moment becomes a desperate race against time. Matt's plan, whatever its exact form, is built on chaos, destruction, and the suffering of those he's targeted, and Sharon and Noah are now at the heart of it. The question isn't just whether they can escape, it's whether they can outmaneuver a man who has already anticipated their every move. As the tension builds toward an explosive breaking point, one thing becomes painfully clear: this is far from over, and the worst may still be yet to come. And just when it feels like the tension has reached its peak, the situation tightens even further, closing in around Sharon and Noah like a trap snapping shut. Every creaking beam and flicker of shadow inside that abandoned gas station begins to feel like a warning they should have listened to sooner, a sign that they've stepped far beyond the point of safety. Their voices, once steady with cautious determination, now carry an edge of rising panic as they call out into the hollow space, hoping almost desperately that Nick will answer them, that this nightmare will somehow resolve itself into something rational. But the silence that greets them is deafening, broken only by the faint, unsettling sounds of a place long left behind. And in that silence, the truth starts to settle in, heavy and undeniable. They've been deceived, led here not to witness justice, but to become part of something far more sinister. Somewhere in the shadows, Matt Clark is still in control, his presence felt even if he remains unseen, his plan unfolding exactly as he envisioned. There's a calculated cruelty in the way he's orchestrated every detail, from the stolen phone to the carefully chosen location, ensuring that Sharon and Noah would walk themselves directly into danger without ever realizing it until it was too late. The deeper they move into the building, the more the tension escalates, each step carrying the weight of uncertainty and fear. And then comes the moment that threatens to shatter everything, the growing realization that they may not just be trapped, but that time itself could be running out. Whether it's the discovery of an ominous device or the unmistakable scent of fuel lingering in the air, the implication is the same, and it hits them with terrifying clarity. This place is a ticking time bomb. Panic begins to surge, sharp and uncontrollable, as the possibility of an imminent explosion becomes impossible to ignore. Their thoughts race, instincts kicking in as they search for a way out, for anything that might give them even the slightest chance of escape. But the deeper fear lies in the uncertainty. Has Matt already sealed their fate, cutting off every exit, anticipating every move they might make? The walls seem to close in around them as the seconds stretch and distort, every heartbeat echoing louder than the last. And somewhere beyond their reach, Matt's plan inches closer to its devastating conclusion, fueled by a vengeance that has consumed him entirely. Yet even in the face of overwhelming danger, there's a spark of determination that refuses to be extinguished. Sharon and Noah aren't ready to give up, not yet, and that refusal becomes their only lifeline as they scramble to outthink a man who has already proven just how far he's willing to go. The question that now hangs in the balance is whether that determination will be enough to overcome the trap that's been so carefully laid for them. Because as the threat of destruction looms larger with every passing second, one truth becomes impossible to escape. This isn't just a test of survival, it's a race against a catastrophe that could change everything in an instant. And as the danger builds toward an explosive crescendo, the fate of Sharon and Noah teeters on a knife's edge, leaving only one haunting question behind. Will they make it out before everything goes up in flames? And just when it seems like the pressure couldn't possibly intensify any further, something shifts, subtle at first, but unmistakable enough to send a fresh wave of dread crashing over them. A distant metallic clang echoes from somewhere deeper inside the structure, followed by a faint scrape that feels far too deliberate to be random. Sharon freezes, her breath catching as her eyes dart toward the darkness, while Noah instinctively steps in front of her, his body tensing as if bracing for whatever might emerge. The illusion of being alone shatters in an instant, replaced by the chilling certainty that they are not just trapped, they are being watched. And in that realization, Matt's presence becomes suffocating, even without him stepping into the light, as though his control over the situation extends into every corner of the building. The psychological weight of it all begins to press down harder, twisting fear into something sharper, more urgent, as Sharon's mind races through every possibility. She thinks about Nick, about how convincingly Matt used his voice, his words, his trust, and the betrayal cuts deeper with every passing second. Noah, meanwhile, scans their surroundings with growing desperation, searching for exits, for tools, for anything that might give them an advantage. But everything about this place feels designed to keep them contained. The doors they pass now seem farther away than they should be, the windows either boarded or too narrow to escape through. And the deeper they've gone, the more it feels like they've been funneled exactly where Matt wanted them. Then, almost like a cruel answer to their rising panic, there's another sound, closer this time, accompanied by a low, unsettling chuckle that slices through the silence like a blade. That's when it truly hits them. This was never just about revenge. It's about control, about forcing them to feel every ounce of fear, helplessness, and desperation that Matt has been carrying inside him. Whether hidden behind walls or watching from the shadows, he's orchestrating their terror moment by moment, letting it build until it reaches a breaking point. And as that realization sinks in, so does the terrifying understanding that he may not be in any rush to end this. For Matt, this isn't just about the outcome, it's about the experience, the drawn-out unraveling of his victims as they come face to face with the consequences of being pulled into his world. The danger isn't just in the potential explosion or the threat of fire, it's in the unpredictable mind of a man who has already proven he's capable of anything. But then, cutting through the fear like a sudden spark in the dark, something changes again, this time within Sharon and Noah themselves. The panic that once threatened to consume them begins to transform, hardening into something more focused, more determined. They exchange a glance, a silent understanding passing between them, and in that moment, they realize that fear alone won't save them, but action might. Every instinct now shifts toward survival, toward finding a way out, toward refusing to let Matt's plan reach its devastating end. And even as the shadows seem to close in tighter and the threat of destruction looms larger than ever, that shared resolve becomes their strongest weapon. Because somewhere in this crumbling, forgotten gas station, the balance is beginning to tilt ever so slightly. Matt may have planned every step, may have anticipated their arrival and their fear, but he hasn't accounted for everything, not their resilience, not their refusal to break, and not the unpredictable spark that can ignite when people are pushed to their absolute limits. And as the tension coils tighter, as every second feels like it could be the one that triggers chaos, the story surges toward a climax that promises to be as explosive as the trap itself. The question is no longer just whether Sharon and Noah can escape, but whether they can turn the tide before Matt's carefully constructed nightmare consumes them all.